All right. Welcome to After School Talk podcast. And over here, we'll be talking about real issues affecting the young ones. Today, we're talking about mental health, especially among the young ones. According to WHO, mental health is one of the issues affecting the young ones worldwide, and most of them choose to suffer or go through it due to stigma. As usual, I'm Tony Skid, and I'm the host for tonight. And my guest here, I'll allow him to introduce himself and tell us something small about himself.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show this evening.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited to be here. I think it's a great privilege to be on show this evening. Well, so my name is Foster, and I'm a student of Old Technical University. And also, I'm a graphic designer, and then also an aspirant for public speaking. Yes, so
that's nice.
Yes. Also, there's a saying that as a person, you don't stand for anything; you stand for everything. So, things that I stand for love, I stand for excellence, and then also the God. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. I also want to let you guys know that we're also excited to host you on this show. Yes. Now let's go down to this topic. When you talk about mental health, what can you tell us something about mental? What does it really mean, especially concerning the young ones, especially the people in Ghana? Yeah.
I'm very, very excited about this particular topic because it's one of the things that we, the young ones, we need. But then, quite unfortunately,
we need.
Yes, we are denied the privilege to have such an awareness. So when we talk about mental health usually refers to a person's psychological, emotional, and social well-being. So here's what I mean to say, like how we think, how we react with people, and then even how we make major decisions. According to the World Health Organization, a research was conducted, and they realized that 1 in 8 people worldwide suffer mental health disorder, and this is as a result of inability of them being aware of what mental health is. And then usually it starts before the age of 25 among adolescents. And this is very, very crucial because lack of this subject informs or changes your life if you are not aware about mental health. So that's basically what's mental health. So in a nutshell, it's just about a person's ability to think or the state of mind at a point in time.
All right. Thank you for this once again. In your definition or during your explanation, you mentioned something like 1 out of 8.
1 out of 8 years.
Okay. So do you have any specific fraction or any representation about the youths especially, or that's just for people in total, the 1 out of 8?
Yeah, so that's the 1 out of 8. That's the worldwide statistics. Yes, according to WHO, World Health Organization. Yes, that's suffer mental health disorder.
All right. We are in Ghana, right? Yeah, we also have youth in Ghana. So when you talk about the mental health, does it really affect the youth in Ghana?
Yes, mental health really does affect the youth in Ghana. Yes, because a research also was conducted, and we found out that according to the WHO, like about 98% of individuals in the university suffer depression and then anxiety as a result of stress because they are not really aware of it. So major the youth really suffer mental health.
All right. You also mentioned about depression. Yes. All right. So apart from depression, can you also touch on or mention any other things that really affect the youth when you talk about the mental health?
Okay, so one of the major barriers that comes when we talk about mental health is stigma or shame. You see, one of the things that we need to understand as human, as people, is that we are a bundle of experience from our JHS, our SHS, our past life. And because of that, there's some things that probably you might have gone through that is shaping who you are today. Okay. So because of those experiences, maybe there's something that you did in the past that you think is a shame, and because of that, there's this vulnerability that if people get to hear it, they'll have this perspective or opinion about you. So people are shy and they are very ashamed of themselves.
That's the stigma.
Yes, that's the stigma. Yeah. So they are not able to express themselves or even open up and talk to people. Yes.
So let me get this right. What you just said right now is just trying to tell us in people in Ghana, especially the youths, they don't really tend to seek for advice or seek for help when they are going through this kind of situation. Is that what you are trying to say?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say because they are shy. Like
Okay. So of
let's say
course, everyone is
let's say for instance, I'm caught up in masturbation, and then like if I don't trust you enough as a friend, as someone who loves me, it will be difficult for me to open up and then share with you what I'm going through in order for me to get help. Yeah, so that is a great barrier when it comes to mental health, and I think it's one of the things that need to be addressed. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's really true. You know, this gets something that really happens to all of us. Whenever we are all in the friend group and you are going through something that you feel like you don't, if you tell your friends, they'll laugh at you. You just keep it to yourself. And mostly, the one thing that we must also know is that when you are growing up, or we, the adolescent, we don't tend to share our problem with our parents. Yeah, because we feel like they might judge us or something like that. Most of the time, we used to tell our problem to our friends, but and then when you are someone's friend and you don't give room to your friend to share his or her problem with you, you are not in the right place. Yeah. All right. So now we'll continue. When you talk about the mental health, can you point out some sign that person that will be showing that shows that the person is really going through situations like this, especially the young ones? Because here we are talking about the young ones over here. You know, there's a saying that goes that the youth is the future of the nation here. So when you don't, address issues that is affecting the youth, become the future that they want has to be. It won't be the future anymore. So can you tell us some signs that the youth or the young person that will be showing that show that the person is really going through this situation?
Oh, okay. So when it comes to the signs that a person exhibits when it comes to mental health, there are quite a number. But then for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to highlight just a few. So to start with, there is loss of change of sleep. Yes, there are people who are deep sleepers and then also light sleepers. And then the person may know him or herself as someone who sleeps very light. And he can sleep and then the next 2 hours he's awake. But then because of some maybe stress, that person end up sleeping for longer hours. So there has been a sign or there's been a change in the person's sleep or appetite when it comes to food and all of that. And then also there is irritation. You are easily irritated. Initially, that's not how you were, but because of mental health disorder, you are easily irritated when someone like you are all over the place and all of that. Yes, and then also we have lack of concentration. Yes, because you are going through a lot, we are thinking about because it has to do with the mind when it comes to mental health. So maybe you're in a classroom in the lecture hall, but then you should not complete the end. You should not complete because yes, exactly. And they are thinking about a lot of things and all that. Yeah, so
to be honest, it happens to me sometimes. I can just be with you, be talking about something, then I'll just not or I'll look concentrated, but my mind is somewhere. Yeah. So those are some of the signs that, but for me, I see it like something normal, but it's a sign that
it's a sign.
Good, but I'm not saying I'm good. Am I going through that? All right, let's continue.
Yes. And then also, there's anxiety.
Oh yeah,
there's anxiety. People are very anxious. Yes, people are very anxious. Like they are worried. They are worried about maybe something that someone has said or insecurity. Yes, insecurity. I wondering what someone think about you. That's not the case.
Yeah, so in this situation, can we say something like self-inferiority?
Yes.
This is the case where someone feel like I'm not perfect for this. Yeah, I'm not good for this. Yeah, all right. So now let's continue. In this world we are in technology world and we are in the social media world, right? Yeah, for me like this, most of the information that I get is through social media. I don't want the news anymore because the news is like automotive or something like that. But right now we are in social media world, right? Yeah, so we want to take the social media into consideration. Do you think it affects the mental health of the young ones positively or negatively? What do you think about it?
So social media in itself is supposed to be a tool that is to help us, make positive outcomes. But then in the case of mental health, there's a negative aspect of social media. There's this idealistic lifestyle that you perceive in your mind that you want to live, and then when you go on social media and it's like you are scrolling, you're looking at people. Maybe sometimes your friends from school, so like, hey, look at where I am, look at my friends, all of that. But then honestly, I want to borrow words from one of my mentors. I said like scrolling through social media is like watching people live because you scroll and then you're looking at people who are
and
achievements, and sometimes these things are not true. They are not realistic.
Oh yeah, one thing that I learned about social media is that most of those that live their lavish life on social media, they don't really post their failures on social media. They always post their success.
Yes.
So when you are someone watching, or you also have the same dream as that person, you feel like you're not doing anything. You need to step up, and that thing is like a pressure that will take you. You might also end up doing something that is not righteous or legal to gain money.
Yeah. And that's where the FOMO comes in, the fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. FOMO. So it's like,
can you take your time to our viewers, some of our viewers, they don't really understand, and me myself, I also don't understand that. So can you just take your time and tell us something about the FOMO or how you're
okay, so when we say FOMO, basically it means the fear of missing out.
Fear of
missing out, yes. Because of social media, you are scrolling and then you are comparing yourself with other people.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, am I really amassing a lot? Like, am I really making progress in life? Because you see what your friends are achieving, they are driving in the Benz.
You have the same age like you, but you are not making any progress.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
I also feel that.
Yeah, so they feel that, hey, I'm missing out on a lot of things. That's where the FOMO comes in.
So right now, according to all like what you have just said right now, it's like when you talk about social media, it's negatively affecting the youth when it comes to mental health.
Yes,
all right.
Also to add to that, there's something we call doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling.
Yes, like you end up seeing people like
you just
they are so like they are buried in their phone, and that's where nomophobia comes in. Yes, when I say nomophobia, is the ability or the state where people are not able to live. Like if you take somebody's phone from the person, tell him the person. Because the person cannot be away without his phone. Everything. So it has to be.
But now too, you see, I'm not trying to say that what you are saying is good or bad, but the world in which we live now, our phone is everything because our phone contains everything about us, our personal information and everything. So I can agree to you that when you take my phone from me right now, I'll be really worried because I'll do everything on my phone, but that doesn't mean that when someone is also worried that the person's phone is being taken away from him or her, he's doing something positive with the phone all the time. Because some people can be on the phone 24/7. All they'll be doing is that just scrolling through social media. And that thing to is I don't think it's profitable to that person. All right, so now we continue. During in your conversation earlier on, you talk about you did mention of stigma. Yeah, so I want us to go deep into the stigma. When you talk about the stigma, can you tell us or can you mention some role that it plays in the Ghana when you talk about the mental health of the youth in Ghana?
Okay, I think so stigma. Like so, a synonym for stigma is so that we can easily understand or relate with it is the shame.
Okay. Being shy. Okay. And that's not.
So it's like because of the stigma, and it comes as a result of sometimes stress, and this is because we don't really prioritize on the things that we are supposed to do. So you end up dabbling in a lot of things at a particular time or at once. And then there's a stress. And then in order to even come out or come over with that, there's something called the Eisenhower matrix. The Eisenhower matrix. So the Eisenhower matrix is a 2x2 time management that has 4 quadrants. So we have the important, not important, urgent, and things that are not urgent. Okay, so let me give a real world example so that we can all relate to that. So let's say, for instance, let me use a student as a case study. You're a student, and then let's assume tomorrow you're writing your end of sem examination tomorrow, and then instead of you to maybe be checking your slides or go through your slides and then prepare. And then also your favorite club, maybe Chelsea or Madrid.
Football.
Yes, football. That night, that was like evening. But then at that point in time, there are 2 things on the table.
Okay. So now you both learn for the exam or both.
Yes, so now
in this world, some boys they love football more than anything.
Yes, so this is where you need to consider which one is more important and which one is urgent for me. So that you put that in place. The economics will say a scale of preference. Putting the things that are important into, a table, a ledge where you treat them first. Yes, that's what basically.
So that's basically what you are saying now. What is the name again?
The Eisenhower measures.
Yeah. So we give a real world example concerning the person being a student, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we know most of the people in or okay, let me say the youth in Ghana. It's not everybody that get the privilege to further their education or be in school right now. Yeah. So let me try and give some real world example. So let me say the person or the young person is a worker.
Right.
Okay, so let me take for example when you come to go like this, most of the young people that are working and they are not going to school, or some of them are even going to school. Most of them that are working, their main occupation over here is riding the keke. That's the tricycle here. So for example, you can say when someone wake up or the young person that is working, when he wake up in the morning, his first priority or the first thing that he must do is to go to work, right?
Yes.
And during the working hours, his favorite team is playing football. So you are just saying that the person is going to choose between the working hours or is going to sacrifice the working hours to watch his favorite team play. So that's basically what you are saying.
Yes.
All right, now I understand.
Even if you are making that decision, like between you continue riding the keke or going to watch football, you know that if you are living on your rent, your rent, you need to think about your rent. The other thing that you should before you understand.
All right. And also, you did mention about stress also.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you talk about the stress, is there any strategies that the young person can cope with to help the person release or reduce the stress to live a healthier life? You have something like that to just some strategies that you think the young person can cope with to help the person reduce stress. Yeah.
Yes. So when it comes to the release or relief of stress,
Yeah.
So you need to first of all you need to plan.
Plan.
You
need to plan everything.
You need to plan as well. Yeah. And then you must very these are things that I want to do first, like if I want to do first, after I'm doing. Well, if you don't plan or you organize yourself, and you end up doing a lot of activities at the same time, and then like all of a sudden you're overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
And then even at that, there's no productivity.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you are seen busy, all right, but then out of that business,
there's no anything profitable to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So you are just increasing the stress for yourself.
Exactly.
Okay. So the first point that when one must cope with or young person must cope with is planning.
Yes.
Okay, and planning is really important. All right. So when you talk about the youth in Ghana, we are all in Ghana, so don't just pardon me if I'm talking. Saying everything because in Ghana. Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. Because we are all Ghanaian, so we need to talk more about the youth in Ghana. All right. So when you talk more about the youth in Ghana, do we have any supportive system here in Ghana that really help to address these kind of issues?
Okay. Currently, I think there are about three. We have in the universities there are counseling sectors or counseling department that handles that. So whenever a student or an individual is going through such a mental health disorder, the counseling departments in the school make sure that they see that's when the student is willing to open up. Yeah, so the counseling department make sure that they talk to you, they educate you about that. And so there's what we call the Young Ghana. The Young Ghana, the YAHAHM.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Yes. So they create awareness or they raise awareness when it comes to the topic on mental health. Exactly. And then also we must seek community support. Yes, we must be involved, must be in the community. Wow. So say that you are not isolated or you are not left.
You need to involve yourself more in
exactly.
Can you give us some example of the community support that you are really talking about?
Okay, so let's say for instance what is going on here at after school podcast like this.
Well, I love the fact that you are using us as example.
I believe that you are working with a team, you're working with a number of people that are helping you.
My big man is at the back over there. Shout out to one clever face and little boy Ewa. Right.
So these are teams that you are with, and because you are with them, always you guys are thinking.
So I can see that this one also fall under planning.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you did plan, we can't have you sitting over here talking to us. Right. And then one thing that I must say right now is I can't overlook this one. You really made my work right now easy for me because you are doing most of the talking for me. I just have to ask more questions and then you just answer everything for me, and I really love that, and I know that Yeah. My viewers or the audience out there, they are going to learn much from this. Yeah, all right. Now we continue. I think we are getting closer to the end of today's discussion. All right, yeah. Right. Do you have something to tell our audience out there? I mean, concerning the topic that we are discussing for today, or I mean tonight.
When we talk about mental health, I mean, it's there, and then also there's no problem when you are stressed or you are overwhelmed.
Okay.
It is normal to be stressed. It is normal to yes. It's normal. But then one of the things that you don't accept is that you don't let it take your emotions or take over you. Yeah. So when you find yourself in that situation, you need to seek help. You need to seek counsel and guidance. Yeah, that is where you speak up. You share with your friends, family, someone that you trust. Yes, open up to the person and then just pour yourself out. And then I believe that they will help you.
Oh yeah.
I believe that yes, they will help you. So you must be open. You must be open and then speak to people. Of course, it's there. Yes, it's there. And then it is okay to be shy. It's okay, I mean, to be overwhelmed and all. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So you also have something to you still have more. If you have more, feel free.
All right. So
So we really need to learn a lot.
yes. Also, to add to that, you see, even though we are saying that there's stigma, people are shy, and then the solution to that is that talk to someone, be open to someone.
And one thing you must, sorry for cutting you, I'm not really cutting you. One thing you must know is that when they say you should talk to someone, that doesn't mean you talk to everybody. Yes. First of all, you must trust the
Someone to
person.
trust.
And then it depends on the way the person handle the situation from you. It can literally be anybody. It can even be your parent, your friend. It depends on who you are. For me, I'm not going to say this. Most continue.
Yeah, so as I was saying, even as I was saying that open up, tell someone that you can trust.
Yeah.
I believe that there are still people or individuals that no matter what you see, no matter what you tell them, like they'll still keep things to themselves. Like like it has become a part of them where
They feel like they keep things to
they keep
themselves.
and they cannot open up. And then this mental health, this other things eating them
Yeah,
up.
it keep
It's eating them up. So one of the antidotes that I'll give you is that
wow, antidote. I love that thing.
another antidote that I'll give you is that I believe that whatever that we need, the solution, everything that we need also is in the word of God. So if you know you can't talk to anyone, just get into the word of God. Like you can go online, search on maybe scriptures on depression, scriptures on anxiety or mental health, and then there'll be a number of them. And then you get to understand, and then I believe that God will help you, the word of God will help you.
I also believe that God will really help you.
God will help you.
All right. Now you go for your audience or your people out there.
Yes.
I still have more. Feel free. You have time. You can say more.
Yeah. So I mean, that's basically it's like be open. Like it is very very best. Don't keep open. Be open to people, and then don't overthink things. Yes, you don't have to overthink. Hey, am I the only one? No. Like when you take a census, I mean about the world's population, there are a number of a vast number of people that are going through the same thing. So it's not that you are the only person.
Yeah.
So don't isolate yourself. Be open, and then flow, and then you see it all, and then
All right. Once again, thank you, Mr. Foster.
Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you for tuning into today's conversation. And if today's discussion spoke to you, just know that you are not alone. There are help out there. If you are going through something related to this topic, just know you are not alone. You can seek help from anywhere. You are not alone. All right. Once again, thank you for you have something to say.
Yeah. So I believe that after school talks podcast is doing well. And then one of the things that I want to say to the audience out there is that there's something important that is going on. And in order not to miss out on subjects or conversations like this, I will need you to like, comment, and then subscribe.
I love that. Thank you for doing my work for me.
Don't miss out on
all right.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, I also just want to thank you for seeing the potential in this, and then also pointing out the fact that this is really an important thing that we are doing. We started all this. We just started, so we are not at what we wanted to be, though. But thank you guys for being part of this journey with us, and I think this is the end of today's discussion. Once again, my name is Tony Skid and I'm the host, and my man, Mr. Foster here, is my guest for tonight, and I'm really happy to have him here. And we'll see you in our next video. Peace.